So I was driving through Pennsylvania last month, and I stumbled across something that literally gave me chills. There's this town called Centralia, where the ground has been on fire for over 60 years. I'm not talking metaphorically, I mean actual flames burning underneath people's houses. And that got me thinking, how many other forgotten places are hiding in plain sight? What I found blew my mind. 5 ghost towns with stories so crazy, so heartbreaking, and honestly so disturbing that I had to share them with you. If you're into mysterious places and dark history like I am, definitely hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me find more forgotten places to share with you. Plus, we're about to dive deep into some seriously haunting stuff that YouTube's algorithm probably won't show to many people unless you guys engage with it. Alright, let's dive in. Centralia, the town that's still burning, okay? So Centralia. This place is straight up apocalyptic. Picture this. Back in 1962, this was just a normal small town. Kids playing in yards, families going to church, people living their lives. Then the town council made what has to be the worst decision in American history. They decided to clean up the local dump by burning the trash. Seems normal, right? Well, here's the thing. This dump was sitting on top of an old coal mine, and when that fire went underground, it hit a massive vein of coal that just never stopped burning. I'm talking about a fire that's been raging for over 60 years now. The ground gets so hot, it can literally melt the soles of your shoes. People's basements filled with deadly carbon monoxide. Can you imagine trying to sleep knowing there's an inferno right beneath your bedroom? Speaking of safety, this is exactly why I never explore places like this without a carbon monoxide detector. Seriously, if you're ever checking out abandoned buildings or mines, get one. It could save your life. I'll link the compact one I keep in my exploration kit below. But here's the moment that really gets to me. In 1981, this 12-year-old kid named Todd Domboski was just playing in his backyard when suddenly the ground opened up underneath him. A 150-foot deep sinkhole filled with toxic gases. His cousin's hand shot out in that final split second. Without that grab, they would have lost him. After that, the government basically said, "We're done," and bought everyone out. They literally bulldozed the entire town. Today, there are maybe 5 people left living there, stubborn as hell, surrounded by nothing but empty lots and steaming ground. The crazy part? Scientists say this fire could keep burning for another 250 years. That's longer than America has even existed as a country. If this story is blowing your mind, like it did mine when I first heard it, definitely smash that like button. And honestly, if you made it this far without subscribing, what are you waiting for? The next story is even more unbelievable. Concrete City, when utopia meets reality. Now this next one is almost funny if it wasn't so sad. Back in 1911, this railroad company had this brilliant idea. They were going to build the perfect workers' town using this revolutionary new material called reinforced concrete. These weren't just houses, they were like fortresses. Fireproof, modern, with electricity and running water when most people were still using outhouses. They called it Concrete City, and for 13 years it actually worked. Families loved living there. Kids played on the playground, people swam in the community pool. It was like this little slice of the future dropped into rural Pennsylvania. So what went wrong? Brace yourself for this. The company that spent all this money building these incredible houses refused to install proper sewage systems. I'm not even joking. These people had electric lights and bathtubs, but they still had to use outhouses like it was the 1800s. By 1924, it got so bad that everyone just left. The company tried to demolish the buildings to sell the materials. But here's the kicker. The concrete was so strong that dynamite barely scratched it. So today, almost 100 years later, These concrete shells are still standing. They're covered in graffiti now, all overgrown with vines, but they're still there, like monuments to the most expensive bathroom-related failure in history. Seriously, if these stories are as wild to you as they were to me, go ahead and hit that like button. It literally takes half a second, and it tells YouTube that people actually want to hear about these forgotten places. Yellow Dog Village. The town time forgot. This one's going to hit you right in the heart. Yellow Dog Village was built for limestone miners in the early 1900s. It got its name from these harsh contracts workers had to sign. Yellow dog contracts, they called them, basically promising never to join a union. Life was hard, but it was good. These weren't just co-workers, they were neighbors, friends, family. Everyone looked out for each other because they had to. The mine eventually closed, and people started moving away for work. But what really ended it was when the wells got contaminated in the early 2000s. The last families had to leave everything behind and just go. Here's what makes this place incredible and heartbreaking at the same time. They left everything, and I mean everything. I've seen photos from people who've toured it. There are still plates on kitchen tables, kids' toys on bedroom floors, family photos on the walls. There's even a wedding album left open on a table, like someone was just looking through it and got called away. One house still has a Christmas tree up with ornaments on it. Can you imagine? Someone's last Christmas in their hometown, and they probably had no idea it would be their last. The current owner gives tours now, and he says people often start crying when they see how much was left behind. It's not just a ghost town, it's like walking through someone's life that just stopped. Okay, real talk. If these stories are hitting you emotionally, like they're hitting me, please hit that subscribe button. I spend weeks researching places like this, and knowing that you guys want to hear these stories is what keeps me going. Plus, there are so many more heartbreaking and incredible places I want to show you. Alvira, erased by war. This story makes me genuinely angry. Alvira was this quiet farming community. Families had been there for generations, just living their lives, raising crops, going to church. Nothing fancy, just home. Then World War II happened, and the government decided they needed this land for a weapons depot. They gave these families weeks to pack up everything and leave forever. 3,000 acres seized through eminent domain. Bulldozers came in and leveled houses that families had built with their own hands. They put up 140 concrete bunkers across the land, these weird igloo-shaped things that looked like something from another planet. And here's the part that really gets me. The depot was barely even used. By the time they finished building it, the war was winding down. They shut it down within a year. So an entire community was destroyed for basically nothing. Today, it's just state game lands. Hunters walk through without knowing they're stepping on the graves of people's dreams. Those concrete bunkers are still there, hidden in the trees like tombstones for a town that should never have died. The old cemetery is still there too, just a bunch of weathered headstones in the middle of the woods, the only proof that people once called this place home. Actually, speaking of cemeteries, I've become obsessed with documenting these forgotten places. I started bringing a good camera with me to capture the headstones and foundations before they're completely lost to time. If you're into photography like me, having a decent camera really changes how you see these places. I'll link my current setup in the description. Wehrum, nature's gentle goodbye. Our last stop is probably the most peaceful of all these stories, which makes it somehow more haunting. Wehrum was a coal town built in 1901. It had everything: 250 houses, a hotel, a bank, even its own jail. Warren Delano, FDR's uncle, was one of the founders. This place was legit. For almost 30 years, it thrived. It was a real community. Then in 1909, there was this terrible mine explosion. 21 people died in an instant. Families were devastated, but somehow the town kept going. What finally killed Wehrum wasn't tragedy, it was just economics. The coal ran out, the company left, and slowly, families started leaving too. Some even took their houses apart board by board and moved them to other towns. Nature started moving in, slowly at first, then faster. Vines covered the foundations, trees grew up through old living rooms. The forest just took it back. Today, there's a bike trail that runs right through where the town used to be. Most people riding by have no idea they're passing over the bones of a community. You can still find stone foundations if you know where to look, and there's a cemetery hidden in the trees where miners and their families rest. It's peaceful there, like the forest is keeping their memories safe. The Ghost Town Trail is actually perfect for this kind of exploring. It's safe, well-maintained, and you can bike or hike it. If you're thinking about checking it out, I definitely recommend a good hiking backpack with water and snacks. These trails can be longer than you expect, and there's something about being in these historic places that makes you want to stay and really soak it all in. These 5 places aren't just empty lots and old buildings. They're reminders of how quickly everything we build, everything we love, can just disappear. Centralia shows us how one mistake can create hell on Earth. Concrete City proves that even the best ideas can fail over something as simple as plumbing. Yellow Dog Village breaks your heart with all those lives left behind. Alvira makes you angry at how people's homes can be taken away for nothing. And Wehrum shows us that sometimes nature is the kindest way to say goodbye. Have you ever been to any of these places? Or do you know other ghost towns with stories like these? Drop a comment and let me know. I seriously read every single one, and some of my best video ideas come from you guys. And look, if you've made it this far in the video, you're clearly as obsessed with forgotten places as I am. So do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I promise you'll want to see what lost place I uncover next. Before you go though, if this video inspired you to start exploring abandoned places yourself, please be smart about it. Always tell someone where you're going, bring safety gear, and respect private property. I keep an emergency whistle, first aid kit, and extra batteries for my flashlight whenever I'm out exploring. It might seem like overkill, but these places can be unpredictable. All my go-to safety gear is linked in the description. Oh, and if this video gave you chills or made you think differently about these forgotten places, smash that like button one more time. It really does help more people discover these incredible stories. Thanks for coming on this journey with me. These places might be empty now, but their stories deserve to be remembered.